I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God. I'm terrified. All right. So, here's the story. I take the list. I have the list with me. It's under lock and key, okay? Let's just, point that out. Let me take my hair down because this is something to tell. And you can't make me, there's like nobody in this world that could make me tell who she is or anything. Even at gunpoint, you can kill me. You can shoot me, blow my head off because I swore in secrecy. I would never tell. But she goes, but one day you will know. You can tell about me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that feels better. Oh my God, that feels better. I had my hair up like for 2 days. Oh my God. Oh. And then when you have your hair up for 2 days, ooh, look at me. And you finally let it down, it's like, oh my God. It's like all the pressure of the whole world is lifted. Anyway, okay. So, Miss Siri, told me I was allowed to say stuff about her. Okay, this story. So, so I have the list under lock and key, and stuff happened. Life happened. I had my son. I had my thyroid killed. I went through so many guys that, were mean to me, abused me and stuff. And I was like, okay, I need to get away from these guys who are treating me mean. So, many years have passed since then. And I was like, just not even worried about it anymore. I didn't think about it anymore. I didn't think about it. So, after I got with the man I'm with now in this house that I'm in, that we rebuilt and stuff. Let's see if I have any lipstick on my teeth. No, okay, I'm fine. Okay, I'm excited. I'm telling you about this, and you just don't know. You just don't know. And I don't have to prove anything to anybody. It's when it's my life and everything, I share it, and everybody's like, that didn't happen. How do you know? How do you know it didn't happen? Were you here? Were you here in my life? Do you live my life? No, you don't. So, for those who say, I don't believe it for one moment, that's on you. I don't really care if you know it or not, but I'm sharing this with you. This is very vital information. It is. It's really vital. It's very important. Okay. So, like I said, I had the little lockbox with me. What is going on here? What is that? What is this all of a sudden? Did you see that? Okay. It was all of a sudden, I forgot about her and everything. Okay, whatever. So, she had moved around. She had babies, grandbabies, whatever. It was just a thing. It was just life happening. Okay. Then, when I got settled into this place, but we were here like 4 years now into this house, give or take. But anyway, I unpacked everything, threw a bunch of stuff away, went through boxes, and found this lockbox. And I was like, well, this looks familiar. And I opened up this box, and there was only one piece of paper in there. And I was like, Miss Siri. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. So, like when I say life happened, like I was a Catholic, and then I moved into Baptist, and then I moved into Wicca, and then witchcraft and voodoo and all that other. Okay. We all know now. So, I'm looking at this paper, and I'm like, I wonder if she still exists. Because it was been quite a while, quite a while between that time, because the date on it, okay, to now, it was like quite a while. And I was remembering, I was going through all the things that happened in my life, like, wow. Like when you sit and just reflect on your life, like what happened, what you go through, just the people that you came encounter with your whole life. It's like that. Okay. So, I'm looking at this paper, and I'm like, wow. So much time has passed. So much stuff has happened in my life. So, I was like, okay, I'm going to give her a call. And it wasn't like recently either. It was 4 years. Well, we were in this house for a year since, So it's been 4 years we've been in this house here. So then 3 years ago is when I contacted her. Does that make sense? Like, okay, like 3 years ago, in that 1 year, the length time that we've been here, it was going on 2 years. I contacted her. Okay. So, it rang and rang and rang, and then it went to a voicemail. But it had a different voicemail name. So I was like, probably she don't exist anymore. Probably she moved away, changed the number, who knows? Probably died. I don't know. Okay, from a week later, I had that same phone that I called on there. And I get this number that wasn't in my phone. And I don't ever answer phone numbers that come across that have no name or stuff. So I was like, that looks familiar, but I'm not sure. So I answered it. I said, hello? And she goes, a woman goes, yeah, I'm just calling back this number. It was on my phone and stuff. I said, yeah. I said, well, who is this? And then she said, Miss Siri. I'm like, Miss Siri? She says, yeah. I was like, oh my God. And I was so like shocked and stunned and everything. I was like, this is Kim. She's, Kim? You mean Kimber Ann? And then my last name? And I was like, oh, she remembered my last name. Nobody ever remembers my last name. It's the whole alphabet. Okay? Yeah. I was like, what? You remember my last name? She goes, yeah. She goes, how you been, honey? And her voice, of course, sounded older and stuff. I was like, oh my God, Miss Siri, I have went through a lot since the last time you and me talked. She goes, yeah, I was wondering when you were going to call and get in contact with me. I was like, let me tell you all what happened. I told her all what happened in my life. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, right now I'm in New Orleans. I'm going to tell you that much. She's not in New Orleans anymore. She says, I'm in New Orleans right now, and give me about 2 weeks, and I'll come and see you. I was like, oh my God. I said, okay. She said, are you doing all right? How you been, dear? I'm like, I'm fine. I said, I'm great. I said, I have a new man in my life, and we have a house together, and, things have, I said, I went through a lot of things and stuff. She was we'll talk in person. I was like, okay. She said, so good to hear from you, dear. She says, I was wondering. She says, I wasn't expecting you, but I was kind of, expecting you to call, but I, because you didn't give me a phone number. But she goes, that I would tell you I'd keep this phone number. I said, well, when I first called, and a different voice and stuff, it was like, I wasn't sure it was you. She says, well, it's me. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. She goes, oh my God is right. She goes, it's been a long time since you and me talked. She goes, so can I have your address and stuff? So I gave her my address, tell her how to get here. 2 weeks later, here she was. Oh my God, she looked the same. Little bit gray hair. But she looked the same as before. Same dressing, same apparel, same the way she walks, same everything. She was glamorous. She was glorious. I love her, okay? I love her. All right, she goes, okay, she came here, and there was this car driving around real slow. So I went out there, and I was like, and my man, he was like, who's that, there's a car going slow. I was like, yeah, I know, it just seems weird. And he went out there and goes, there's a woman out there, driving around. So I went out there, and then I went downstairs, down to the mailbox to, see who this was. And she got out, oh my God, knew exactly. She goes, girl, you are beautiful. I was like, you are beautiful. I said, look at you. I said, you look the same. She says, well, you do too. I'm like, no, I don't. She goes, you say anything bad about you, I'm going to get in this car and we'll go away. And that's the way she was. I was like, no, I'm not going to say nothing bad about myself. I said, no, she wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me say nothing bad about myself. Anyway, she come across the street and she hugged me. It seemed like she hugged me for hours. And she's just, she's just this person that would just hug you and hug you and hug you and just breathe her in. She smelled of the same herbs, patchouli and earth, and she just, smelled like the sunshine, and oh my God, she smelled like spring air. You just did not want to let her go. It was like, I'm breathing her in and her hair and everything, and she goes, look at this hair. She says, you have dyed it black. I said, yeah. I said, because, I just wanted to have black hair my whole life and everything. And she goes, this is so gorgeous on you. She says, it fits you better than blonde hair. I said, thank you. She says, it's so amazing how you just found me. I said, yeah. So I told her, I said I was looking through some stuff. And then I was going through some papers, and I found the little box, and I found the paper, and I just happened to call you. I said, but I cannot believe the time in between that time of the last visit we had. She goes, well, stuff happened. She told me about her life. I told her about mine, and she goes, wow. She goes, it's fate that you and me have met the first time, and it's fate and destination to meet again. I said, oh, for sure. And she goes, how you been, all this other and everything. I invited her upstairs. I introduced her to my man. So my man, he left because he didn't want to bother me and my company. And that's just the way he is. He's got cars out there he messes with and stuff. So we're sitting here talking, we're reminiscing and stuff, and just going on telling about what we went through. And I was like, oh my God, she had a few car accidents, I had a few car accidents, and, I told her about, my son and all this other, and she's like, wow, that's something. my son didn't want to meet her. Okay, so I have this woman, and she's my friend. You want to meet her? No. Okay. And I wasn't going to pressure her. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and she goes, "You haven't called none of my clients." I said, I know. I said, I just don't know. I don't know how to just come across it. Well, anyway, we sat and we talked and we chatted, and she taught me how to read tarot, like to read tarot and to read her. She's okay. She's, you know me and I know you, but pretend like I'm a client. Read for me. I don't. She was just do it. So I shuffled the cards, laid them out, and everything. And she says, "What are you feeling at this moment?" I said, kind of feeling weird and everything. And she goes, "Well, the clients, most of them are still alive, and most of them, she said that she took care of the clients in between the time of her and me first meeting and stuff to this time of right now." And she's like, "I took care of them, so you don't have to worry, but you have to take care of these clients continually." And there's a few that were on the in her list that wasn't on my list, so she wrote them down. And she goes, "These are good people. These are genuine, true people that you can talk to. That you can, if you have a problem, you can talk to them, whatever." And she said, "I told them about you, and then when you didn't contact them, they were wondering what happened to you. And so I told them that you had a life and you were involved in your life and stuff." So she says, "I took care of all the clients and stuff, so you don't have to worry, that long period of time and stuff." And she goes, "By the time I was moving and, having babies and grandbabies and marrying and divorced 4 or 5 times and blah, blah, blah going on, she goes, I've contacted those clients and I took care of them. So you didn't have to worry." I said, "I looked at that list 1,000 times. I said, I just didn't know how to approach them." She says, that was okay. We all understand. So I laid them out and I was like, "Ooh," I said, "I'm feeling something." She goes, "Well, tell me, what are you feeling?" And then the stuff that she didn't tell about me, no, the stuff that she didn't tell about her to me was, I felt it in the cards. And I'm like, "Oh, you had this and this and this." And she goes, "Yeah, that's exactly right." She goes, "See, that's what you do. You read the tarot as it is. You see the pictures. You study the cards as they have the images on." And so I was like, okay. And then I was like, like looking at the cards saying, well, this one little boy, he's got a lantern and there's birds around him, count the birds and blah, blah, blah going on. And then I was reading from there. So that's how I learned how to read tarot, because I was like reading people. And then when you put like a tarot card or something, it would go with that person and they would kind of match up. Like, okay, this person telling me this and that, whatever, and then I know stuff that they don't know that I know, So then when they're like, "Oh, okay, this and that, whatever," then when you bring a tarot card, it's more, brings it more to like legit, something like that. There's a word, maybe it's like, it's more on the concept. Okay. Anyway, so I'm sitting there talking to her, we made supper, we ate and stuff like that. And then every day she would come, and when I would call her clients, I would, I would introduce myself into them. And like I would say who I am and everything, and these nails are just gorgeous. But anyway, when I would like talk like, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is where I came from, blah blah blah. So they all got to know me, because you tell a couple clients and then they tell the rest of the clients, this girl, this and that, whatever, Miss Siri, Miss Siri, trust her so we can trust her, and blah 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 going on, that sort of thing. So every day she would come to the house, and she would sit there and she would do her own paperwork. She would, make her own clients, make her own phone calls and stuff. And I would sit here with a client and I would read the tarot cards. Like I would say, okay, like, what is your main focus on your life? What do you want to change, but you can't find that change through doctors or a book or whatever? And then they would tell me. So I would lay so many cards down on what their specific needs and wants. Like, you have 6 needs and wants. Like, you want to change your appearance. You want to get a better house. And it's not like I'm going to read your future. See, fortune teller is like the first thing that came around before clairvoyance came out. So you have these people who are psychic or fortune tellers. I will read your fortune. I really don't know how to say anything about that, but it's more of a gimmick, okay? Because you're not really telling the future. You are the present time. So when the people want to change something, want to know something, that is the future past particle tense in that sort of a way. So I was reading these cards. I was like, like, okay, this one is, they wanted a castle or something, something extravagant, something that they don't never expect in their life. So I turned it over, and it was like a tower. So I looked at the tower picture, seeing what it was, what it had, how many leaves on the ground, and how many stars in the sky and stuff. That could determine how their future will progress. Do you understand? Does that make any sense? I hope so, because the way Miss Siri described it to me is so immensely speaks in volumes, okay? I'm telling you, it speaks to where it makes a whole lot of sense. Okay. And it's like, we don't put out a tip jar. It is $25 for the session. And that is the price that Miss Siri gave. So this is the price that is going to be, because it's like the proceeds go to her. So like I get like a little portion of it, and then she gets the rest or whatever, And if she leads it all up to me, then I get the whole proceeds, Okay. So anyway, there was like 4 clients outside, and one was inside, and I told them to, either they can come up or whatever, and Siri's like, no, Miss Siri is like, you leave them out there in the car, because you don't want to tell this one specific person their fortune or whatever, or like their needs and wants, and let others hear it. She goes, you don't never want 2 or 3 clients in the same room, since I only have one room, and there's not like, there's one bedroom, and then there's a bathroom, a kitchen, and the voice carries, so you don't want to let everybody hear what you're talking about. Okay. Anyway, so we would do this, like 4 days, 5 days, whatever. Like there was clients, and then like the session would go on, and those clients out there, they would stay in their cars, and they would, like you would have to tell, like my husband's mom or the cops that they're out there, but they're my people, they're my friends, and I'm taking care of it. Okay. So they don't get told to go away. And they will sit out there until they have their reading. And it could be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You're just getting done with that one. So then they'll go out and they'll go get breakfast, whatever. They'll go do their thing, but they'll come right back here. So I took care of all the clients. And Miss Siri, she gave me a thumbs up. She says, you done great. She's very, very stupendous. She goes, you are definitely a natural. And I go, and she goes, but, she says, I'm going to tell you, I'm fixing to move overseas. And I have to take care of some business out there. She goes, so I'm going to leave all the clients, and they know people who know people, so you can have the chain of clients and beyond. And I was like, okay. She's, and if you don't never want to do it, you don't have to call them up and say, hey, come on over, or whatever. You don't. She goes, it's okay to call them and let them know that you're not going to do a reading this week. They'll be okay, and they'll email me, and then I'll, do it through transaction like that. And she goes, some of the clients are going to come with me overseas and stuff, so they could, have their family, their gatherings, whatever, They're my followers, so I'm going to, keep them. I was like, okay. And she was, so whenever time you get stuck or in trouble, just call me, email me, whatever, and she says, I'll help you. Okay. So, I've been getting clients and stuff like that, and then, I had back trouble, and I had to go to a doctor, and then I had to call the clients and say, this week ain't going to be a good week for me. So they, they would be perfectly understandable. They really would. So Miss Siri went across the ocean, and I just smeared my lipstick. Okay, she went across the ocean to take care of some business. And every now and then, like a client will call me up and say, do you feel like having a reading? And you can hear the desperation in the voice. I'm like, yeah, sure. They said, well, we're not in the area. Can you do this over the phone? It's hard to do over the phone because you really can't feel their essence. And you have to have their essence right here in front of you. But I would put myself in a space. They would tell me which deck they wanted, because I've got a cabinet full of decks. They said they want a specific deck. They tell me what specific deck they want, and they tell me what their problems are. They'll tell me their issues and everything. And then I will, shuffle the deck while they're telling me. You shuffle the deck, and they'd be like, telling this and that, whatever. And then, okay, so you lay down a card like, they want a car, they want a man out of their life, they want this, this, and this, like 6 different things, Sometimes it's like 3, sometimes it's up to 6. It all depends on the client. So, when I read these cards and stuff, I say, okay, this is, sometimes I want to read out of the Oracle deck, And then, like, oh, here's a pretty blue angel. She's got like a little lamb, and like there's two birds on the tree, and all this other. I would tell what that card looks like to them, and then I would say, okay, since that there's two birds, there's two things that you can do to get ahead, and such, yada yada. And they're like, okay, that makes sense. I think I can handle that and stuff. And it's like, but, like on the ground, there's like leaves in a book, half page turned and stuff. And I said, here, this is what I think you can do to alleviate the situation. And they're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. She goes, I was, going to try that, but I wasn't sure, and all this other. So I'm like an advice column. Like I give out advice, and that's basically what a clairvoyant is. You can feel things, you can tell things, you can express things. And in a scientific theory, the advice columnist is what it really is in a nutshell. Okay. But, people put fancy words on it. So there you have it. Now you know about me. You know what I do and stuff. And I just hope I gain some more clients. The clients have withered down. I still have a few every now and then. But, I hope I do get more clients. Whether through YouTube or whatever. Just like I said, if you want to know anything, just ask me. And I will tell you. And if you hear any bad gossip or anything, it's not true. Because, people then say, oh, they look at me and they judge right away. And I'm like, you don't even know me. Now I have told about me in such detail. Now everybody can say, oh, wow, she's awesome. I'm not saying, oh, I'm so awesome, I can just die. No. I'm saying that that's what people will probably say now that they know more about me. And that's just like the tip of the iceberg, okay? The very tip. But that's I needed to tell you. I needed to say. When I was washing dishes, it would not stop. That wave of immensity to me telling about me and Miss Siri had to be done because I knew it was time. I knew it was the right time. Even yesterday I was like, oh, I need to make a video, but I'm not too sure, so I had to sleep on it. And then my dreams told me it was okay. And then I called up Miss Siri. I was like, so I'm itching. I'm itching so bad. And she goes, well, you go right ahead. You want to tell your story, you go right ahead. You don't have to tell any details. Just because I already know you're not going to. So just, tell your story and it'll be okay. So I was like, okay. She goes, I know that you're not going to give out any theory that, it will encrypt me and stuff. Now keep in mind, she's not like wanted by the, she's not wanted or anything. She's a really good person. But I don't want to tell about her because that is her story to tell. That's her business. I'm not going to put her business out there. I never will. And, but that's it in a nutshell. That's a little bit more about me. There's some really good information. And Just take it for what you will. And know, now you know more about me. So, Cherry Berry here. We're done. Have fun. See you later. Bye.